We've seen Cane give up his gun to Tariq not just once but twice, and now he may have some newfound respect for him, so I'm talking all things Cane and Tariq's relationship, and also what's next for 2-Bit. So welcome back to MovieBot, let's talk about Power Book 2, Ghost.
Go somewhere where a lot of people's gonna see you. About to handle this shit.
So I hope you're all doing great and welcome back to another storyline breakdown, this time talking all things Cane and Tariq, Ramirez's gun and the badge that Cane kept as well after disposing of Ramirez's body, and what's next for 2-Bit. And I will be talking about Power Book 3 Raising Kanan in the next day or two because I'm almost finishing breaking down the season finale apart from maybe 1 or 2 more videos, and a lot of you guys have been asking in the comment section about the Raising Kanan music video, so that video will be coming either on Sunday or Monday, and anything else that you guys may want me to talk about just drop it down below in the comment section. But let's talk about Kane's role in this season finale because this is something I haven't touched on in detail yet. We saw Cane disposing Ramirez's body near to the beginning of the episode, not knowing what was going down with Monet and Rico, and with Monet killing a supplier and them needing Ramirez. And Ramirez has cleaned up after Cane a few times. For example, when he shot up Lil Guap's place, he was cornered by a police officer. When he was arrested for the raid at the church, Ramirez had to cover for him again. And there's probably countless of other times where he's covered for him which we don't know about because Monet mentioned later on in the episode in a conversation with Cane that Ramirez is always cleaning up after him, and she admitted that maybe it's her fault that Kane's this way, and it could have been partly because of the conversation that she had with Tasha earlier on in the episode that actually made her realize that maybe she is partly to blame for Cane and the way he is. And if you ever wondered where Cane got his trigger happy trait from and acting first, thinking later, we just have to look at the conversation between Lorenzo and Monet earlier on in the episode, because Lorenzo fuming with Monet that she killed Rico without thinking. Lorenzo said they need soldiers to start a war. She was supposed to think before she pulled the trigger, and she's made this situation a whole lot worse. Monet pulled the trigger without thinking, pretty similar to what Cane does. So if you ever wondered where he got it from, well now you know. And now she needs Cane after killing Rico, and I do think we'll see them not repair their relationship because I think there will always be that trust issue between them, but I do think he'll be accepted back into the Tejada family because of Lorenzo and because of what Tariq said to Cane. But let's talk about Cane, Tariq, the gun and the badge that Cane kept of Ramirez, and let's start with the gun because this one's an interesting one, and especially when I watched it the first time, and I've watched the finale over back about 3 times now. And when Tariq asked Cane whether the gun he had in his hand which he used to shoot Jabari was the gun that he used to kill Ramirez, and now Tariq has the gun linked to Ramirez and Jabari's death, and could Tariq use this gun to set up Cane? This is something that's been mentioned in my comment section over and over again quite a few times. And we know how much Tariq is like his father. He's now acknowledged this now too. We know Ghost set Cane up to go to prison because he didn't want to kill him. We know that Tariq only kills when he has to, so could he use this gun later on to set up Cane, send him away? I personally don't think so, because if you rewatch the scene, he said he'll use Ramirez's gun to tie up the loose ends by killing Jabari, and because Ramirez was a dirty cop, his fingerprints being all over the bullets, that would basically make it look like Ramirez was the one who killed Jabari. But why did Cane not get rid of Ramirez's badge? Could Cane try and use this later on to try and set Tariq up? Is Cane even capable of something like this? I do think at some point they'll be at odds again, but for now Cane watching Tariq kill Jabari and overhearing him tell Jabari that he killed his father, he killed his best friend, Cane will see him in a new light. And I was asked this question in the comment section yesterday by SSH, what do I think about Cane standing behind the tree watching Tariq shoot Jabari? Now Cane had a little smirk on his face as he watched on as Tariq shot Jabari, and now Cane's learned something about Tariq that he didn't know about his past, which is he killed his father and his best friend, and now he might see what Monet sees in Tariq, and that's that Tariq can be more useful to the Tejadas than he first thought. And now one of the clear differences between Cane and Tariq is Cane kills in rage and in emotion, and on the other hand if we were to compare this to Tariq, when he kills, Tariq only kills when he has to, and when he has no choice. Ray he felt as if he had no choice, it was him that he felt was responsible for Raina's death, Cane to protect his family, and Ghost because he was getting in the way of his future, and last but not least Jabari, who he felt he had no choice after he found out that Tariq was selling drugs at Stansfield and he knew way too much information, and at that point he knew he had to go. But this is where I think they can complement each other because Courtney Kemp touched on something about Tariq not having to fight and maybe he could get someone else to fight his battles for him. So could Cane be one of those people that Courtney Kemp was talking about, as well as 2-Bit, who I'm going to come to in just a moment. Now Cane's going to have some newfound respect for Tariq now because he knows what he can do and he knows what he's done. And I do feel Tariq can benefit by having someone like Cane by his side who's willing to do the dirty work, someone who he can manipulate and control. But what about Cane and the rest of his family? Will they ever forgive him? I think we've already seen a few hints that Monet will take him back, and especially because Lorenzo told her that Cane is now the solution and to make things right with him because they need him. But it doesn't mean they won't resent him. I do think they will still resent Cane, but know that the only way they can control him is to bring him back into the family. Lorenzo knows this, and this is the only way to control him. But let me know your thoughts on Tariq and Cane and everything about their relationship, everything about Ramirez's gun that Cane gave to Tariq, the badge that Cane decided to keep, and could it come back into play for season 2? But let's talk a little about 2-Bit now, because this is the one that I was not disappointed in, but a little surprised that we didn't see anything of him in the finale, because they made a big deal about Tariq being under pressure from 2-Bit, that he owed him 50k for saving his life, and then all of a sudden there was nothing in the finale. It's like 2-Bit went ghost. Now one thing I want to touch on is 2-Bit must have heard the word on the street that Tommy was back. Tommy caused that much mayhem in the car chase, shooting the bar up and coming after Tasha for snitching. He must have heard that he was back in town, and I wonder whether this will be brought up in a conversation with Tariq in season 2 and where the relationship goes from here, because Corny Kemp made some interesting comments which I touched on earlier on in the video, that Tariq doesn't need to learn how to fight just yet because he could have people doing this for him, and that he's learned from Kanan, Ghost, Tommy, Tasha, and he could well have another few teachers and people that he could learn from in the future. And I do think 2-Bit could be that guy for Tariq. 2-Bit, just like Tariq, is smart. We know all about his SAT score, and we know these two great minds put together is a dangerous combination. So it's going to be interesting to see where the relationship goes from here, because I thought 2-Bit's release sealed Tommy's return by 2-Bit giving Tommy a call or something, but that wasn't the case. Tommy came back to see Cash and obviously deal with Tasha. But could we still see 2-Bit reunite with Tommy on Power Book 4 Force, or could 2-Bit stay on Power Book 2 Ghost? I hope we see him continue on Power Book 2 and be this mentor for Tariq in the streets, and maybe he could help the Tahadas with a new connect, because now the old stories from Power are finished, this show can go into a new direction, and so many new directions in season 2. There's just endless of possibilities of what could happen with 2-Bit and Tariq and the Tahadas. It really is impossible to say, but let me know what you guys think about 2-Bit's role. What could it be in the future in Power Book 2 Ghost, or could it be in Power Book 4 Force? Could we see him in Tommy's spin-off, or could he be this mentor for Tariq in the streets? Something that Courtney Kemp has hinted at Tariq having in the next season. Drop me all your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section. And I'll be back tomorrow talking all things Brayden Weston this time, and what Brayden's future could be in the coming season and beyond. But anyway guys, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, and you want to see everything from Power Universe news to review and breakdowns and storyline breakdowns, then remember to smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.